I'm Claire from Created the Ottaway. I'm an independent demonstrator in the UK. Thank you for joining me today. Super easy card this week. It's been a tough old week at the Ottaway household, so easy and calm is the best way to go. So it's a Z fold card. Really simple, you can see the Z there. But I am showing you some of the lovely new papers. So obviously I'm into cats and we've got a dog on the front, but there is cats as well. So it comes in the Sweet Stocking suite, or you can just buy the paper yourself. Lovely stamp set that goes with it, really gorgeous ribbon, and of course Stampin' Up style do lots and lots of ideas of what you can do with it. So if I show you very quickly some of the paper, just to prove there is cats and dogs. Look at these cute little cats, even a little goldfish there. Obviously it's two-sided, nice green stripe there. Love the fairy lights. Nice bit of pool party on the other side, some stockings. The cat looks a bit grumpy. I'm sure mine would be the same if they were put in stockings. Just lovely stockings and stars. This one I definitely have to use on some cards. I know it's a bit of fussy cutting, but look at that face, definitely. And of course this is the lovely dog one, the Labrador, or I'm not really a dog person, so I'm not sure what dog it is. That is on the front of my card that I'm sharing with you today. So what do we need? I've used Pool Party as that's one of the colours that are in the coordination. There's also Bumblebee, Cherry Cobbler and Old Olive, so you've got quite a mix there. Like I said, I've fussy cut this dog out. I actually laid it onto some basic white card, glued it on and then cut it out. I just feel like it gives me a stronger embellishment then on the front. So let's get started. Do I need to tell you anything else? Just a little bit of scrap paper on the inside, don't want to waste any of it, but other than that it's a really easy quick make that you can do time and time again for lots of different occasions. So I've got my paper trimmer, I've got my piece of A4 Pool Party, and I'm just going to cut it on the long side. Oh, what I didn't do is leave you with the sizes. Shall I do that first? That will give you an overview of what we're needing. Not very much at all to make this card. One sheet of A4 is enough. You could get 2 cards out of it if you've got some spare for the front panel. So that's all you need, and just a small bit of designer series paper as well. So if I bring that back in, so here's my paper trimmer, got my A4 sheet, and on the longest side I'm cutting it at 5 7/8. Really easy. So that's how you could get your 2 cards out of it. Now I can turn it that way round so the long side is at the top. Now, I already know that that's 8 2/8, but if yours is slightly bigger you just need to cut it down to 8 2/8. And then you're going to do a bit of scoring. So the first score line is going to be 2 1/16. So make sure your cutter is right out the way, and it's just the very first notch past the 2. Okay, so you're just scoring that. And then the second score line is 4 1/8. Okay, and that is it. Really, really is. So that will fold over like that. That will fold over like that. And that's the inside of your card done. Okay, so we're just going to decorate it now. So we need the same size panel for the back as for the front, so that when you close it, it's all hidden like that. Can you see? So that size is 3 7/8 by 5 5/8. So I've got a nice piece of white for the inside, and I'm using the same pool party for the front, okay? But we're going to concentrate on the inside bit first. So remember I said there was a little bit, when I cut my panels out, there was a little piece left. So I'm going to put that on the inside here, just because I don't want to waste any card. So I've got a little bit of, I think it's about 3/4 of an inch by 3 7/8 if you want to be exact. You could cut a piece that will go right across. Now this is a new glue, so it better not play up. In fact, it's come out way too fast. I'm just going to get rid of some of that. Okay. And you could put this at the top, at the bottom. Just make the card your own. That's the best bit about crafting. You can watch loads of different tutorials and pick up loads of ideas, and then you go off and make it yourself and it becomes your own. So I'm going to put mine at the top just to be different. And the sentiment that I'm going to use for the inside is from the Inspired Thoughts set. Now this doesn't shout at you Christmas, but there's a lovely sentiment here that says, wishing you all the beautiful gifts of Christmas. So I'm going to stick that on my very mucky block, actually. I've just seen that. I'm going to use some Memento ink. And I always place my stamps at an angle so that I'm concentrating on where I'm stamping and not on the edge of the block. Okay, so there's that. Lovely. Love that font and the nice line in the middle. And that's the inside of my card done. So I'm going to put some Tombow glue on that, and I'm going to stick that to the inside of my card. Okay. So this card is actually 1/4 inch smaller than the base card. So I'm just going to try and fit that roughly with a nice 1/4 inch all the way round. And the reason you do the inside first is because it's easier to line up the front than it is to do the inside. So we do the inside first and line the front up with the inside. So that's the inside done. Now you could decorate that panel if you wanted to, if you were making it for somebody really special. Sometimes when I'm addicted to the designer series paper, I'll put it on the inside as well, just so I can showcase both sides. And this paper actually would go really well because it's the same pool party on the inside. So if you've got loads of paper, do that panel as well. Okay, now this one's going to come over like this, and this is going to go on the front and just cover up the panel that you can see. So I'm going to concentrate on this next. I'm going to put my card to one side, and that's my base card, and then I've got some designer series paper, and that again is 1/4 inch smaller. So this paper is 3 5/8 by 5 3/8. This one, remember, is 3 7/8 by 5 5/8. Now I could stick that straight on, it will look lovely, job done. But I really like the black detail in it, and I really want my puppy, who is here somewhere, to really pop on the top. So even if I put him on white, he does stand out, but I really want it to pop. So what I'm going to do is just do a neat little trick where you frame the designer series paper. So I'm framing it in black because I've got black lines throughout, and I'm very lucky because actually this is almost the right size. So I'm just going to glue that on there, and then I'll trim it. Now you could do it so you cut the black card 1/8 of an inch bigger, and that will give you a nice frame all the way round. This is just a little piece that I had sitting next to me when I thought, oh, that'd be nice with a black frame. So I'm going to go with that. I think it's slightly more than 1/8. So mine's going to stand out a little bit more. Can you see it really does stand out? I'm just going to trim along the bottom with my trimmer. You could do it with scissors, but if you do it with scissors, I suggest you do it with a big pair of scissors. Now this could go horribly wrong now, and I cut it off. Oh, look at that. I think my blade needs changing. You see my furry bits are there. So let's just get those off. Okay. So yeah, I'm happy with that. So that now is going to go on there. And can you see it makes that DSP really stand out, even though it's just a tiny, tiny frame. And you can do the same effect with different colours. Just pick out one of the colours that are in the DSP and you'll be surprised how layering that up makes a difference to your cards. Also makes them extra thick and stronger as well, which is always a nice thing to do. So that's going straight on there. Okay, now this is going to go just like that on it, but I'm going to do the same with the black again. So now this bit I did cut, so literally it just pokes out so you can see a black frame all the way round, and that will just help that stand out as well. So I'm going to put some glue on the back of my white piece, and this white piece has been die cut from the Stitch So Sweetly dies that I'm a little bit obsessed with. It's the stitching all the way around. Okay, so that is going to go on there. Yeah, that looks nice. Just wiggle that over a little bit while I've got time. Make sure it's in the middle. That's going to go on there. I want that to stand out a bit, so I'm going to put it on some dimensionals that I really hope I've brought through. No. Oh, so organised. Oh my goodness. They're probably stuck to my phone. No, that means I'm going to have to whiz and get them, because I'm not going to put it on there without. Okay, bear with me. Talk to yourselves. Oh, now I remember why I didn't get them. Because look, I'm on the end of my dimensionals and I meant to get a new set out. Okay, let's just use one of these edging bits, because no one's going to see it. It's just on the back. Don't want to waste them. Okay, I'm just going to put a piece over there and there. It's got no weight on it, so I don't need too many. And that is going to go slightly over to this side a bit, because I need to bear in mind that his tail comes out quite a long way. Okay, like that. So then I'm going to put some dimensionals on the back of him. Okay, I'm going to put a few because I really want him to be stuck on. And I'm also going to cut a little bit off, just a little sliver there, because I'm going to put it along his tail, because I want that to stick down as well. I don't want it to stick up or get stuck on the envelope when it is pulled in and out of the card. Nearly there. Okay, so again I'm putting him slightly over to this side because I'm going to put my sentiment along there. So before you stick anything down, just have a little think about the placement and practice. So that's now holding that down. He's on there, lovely. My sentiment will go here. On this one I actually used a retired set because I really like the darkness. Do you remember the Peace and Joy set from last year? It had these stamps in them, and I just think it stands out really well, so I will use that again on this one. So if you bring your card back in, fold it down that way, and you're going to put some glue on this panel. Remember, don't go right to the edges, because your panel, if I just put it on there, comes in slightly smaller. Okay, so I'm just going to put it down there, and then what I do is I'm going to start looking at this side first and then place it. So I'm just going to use the back of my hand to put that over where the white card is, hold that in place and then press it down onto the glue. Okay, and that means that when your card is shut, you can't see the white panel that's behind it. And that is it. That's our card done. So the easiest Z card ever, but with this lovely designer series paper called Sweet Stockings. Just had to check myself. I feel like it should be called Cats and Dogs at Christmas or something like that. But no, Sweet Stockings. So there you go. I hope you've enjoyed watching. Thank you for joining me for today. And if you like my videos, subscribe and you can catch me again next week.